Hopefully it will work. You never know. You never know until you click the button and you go live. Grrrr. Greetings, humans. Greetings, and welcome back to another fun-filled episode. That's right, Bear here, 29-year veteran of the woods, and today, oh boy, I tell you what, people, it was actually a very nice, beautiful day here in Florida. The birds were chirping, the sun was out, but it wasn't that hot or humid. Oh, thank God it wasn't humid. But I tell you what, even in the best of times, just being able to kick the old Disney mouse right in the old nads there, that makes it just that much more special. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Oh, for crying out loud, Jiminy Cricket is already requesting a refund. Well, you know, that's what happens when Bear gets here a little bit late, but that's all right. That's all right. A good thing, I can actually give you a refund, Jiminy, because it's absolutely free. So, very good, very good. Good to see P Money here as well. I've not been infected by a cricket. How dare you, sir? How dare you? All right, well, you know what we've got? We don't have time. We just do not have time for either gibber nor jabber. Actually, we have, let me find it here. Where am I? Where am I? Come on, Bear. One of these days, professional show. I tell you what. But actually, we've got some campaign updates here. Not just from kind of, your run-of-the-mill campaigns. No, we actually have some stuff from, if you can find it here, gosh darn it, from Cyberfrog and Uncle E. Holy cow, it's been quite a minute since we've heard from Uncle E here. So let's go ahead and get right on into it. Bear is not drunk, not yet. Not yet. Kick that mouse right in the Disney. There you go. Why do you say I'm drunk, for crying out loud? I did have some hot wings, so might be burning on the tongue here just a little bit. A little bit of fire on the lips there. Yes, indeed. All right, so he goes and says, let me bring it up here. 1 second here, people. Let's see, is this the right one? Where did I put it? One of these days. There we go. Hello, my beautiful, lovely, amazing Cyberfrog 2 Red Planet backers. Holy cow, you were blowing smoke right up Bear's backside there. He says he's almost done. Now let's go ahead. Let's just show some of this stuff here. Give a flavor of it here. There we go. Some pictures there that he has. Almost done. Oh boy, we've heard that before. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Nothing less than the work of my career, says Uncle E. So there you go. Some of the stuff looks to be new stuff, like the one that we have here. I'm wondering if they're bringing in another character from, I think, the 90s Cyberfrog stuff. That stuff got really confusing in the first book, so I hope they're keeping that kind of to a bare minimum, as it were, out there. So, anyway, some interesting artwork here that he has for display here. I'm really not sure what's going on with some of this stuff. Some of the other pictures we've actually shown before. The one with Cyberfrog sitting in... I'm trying to remember her name. Is it Lily? I believe it's Lily or Lilith or something like that in the bedroom there, hanging out with Heather Swain. It took me. I tell you what, it's been like 3 years, so I gotta remember all these characters' names. It's been a little bit of time here, but anyways, he's got some artwork out there for you good folks there. That's some interesting stuff. He goes on. He says, thank you. I know this is taking much longer than I said it would. We'll get to that in a second. It's going to be worth it. We're building a story that represents something very special right now, and he must be at his best. Yes, indeed. The finished product, and what it means will last forever. And you all, bless you, you made it possible. Stay with me. Well, we don't have much of a choice. I don't think we can still do refunds. I haven't checked in quite a while. Stay with me. He says, Uncle E. Actually, he doesn't say Uncle E. He says Ethan Van Sciver, but we say Uncle E here. Yes, indeed. Wait, we have a EVS update as P-Money? Yes, indeed. What's next? A Lone Star update? Well, one update at a time, P-Money. One update at a time. We are trying to do a sort of a through line for some of this stuff. I tell you what, Bear actually went back. He actually went back to look at the previous update for Cyberfrog. One of the reasons that we do campaign updates sometimes, especially people like Aaron Lepresti out there that does a really good keeping up to date with people there. So we can kind of compare and contrast some of that stuff. So Bear went back, checked out. It was back in very early December, which was just a very quick update. Pardon me here. The chicken wings. And it was, I believe, I need to go back and double check, but it was I think it was right before Thanksgiving or something like that, mid-November. So you're talking about 5 months here before it's actually been updated here. And in that last update, it was, we're almost done, we're at the finish line, yada, yada, yada. So what happened in those past couple months really isn't clear. He actually had another, let me see if I can bring it up here, 1 second, people. He had another email here. Let me find it here. Get out of the pictures. I hope everybody enjoyed the pictures here. Excuse me. He had a second email, basically saying that you can go and watch him draw it live. I think some of those videos are actually some of the better videos. I wish that he would do that more often. Instead, we have this sort of hangout of Castro-like length streams, 3, 4, 5 hours long, something like that. I'm not going to make a comment on any of that stuff, but you have all this time there, but you don't get a whole lot of updates on some of that stuff. So Bear actually enjoys some of the drawing streams. Wish that he would do that more often. If he doesn't want to do that on the main channel, I do believe he's got the all caps. I believe it was the all caps channel or something like that. Bear hasn't checked it out in quite some time. It basically went dead for, I think he took it live for a little bit of time and then it's been dead for, I don't know, Bears hasn't checked in quite a little bit. But yeah, wish that we would have a little bit more either information kind of maybe monthly or some of the draw streams like they have here. Let's see, what does he say? He says, hey backers, that's Bear. Let's see. Come join the crowd and watch me work on the page of Cyberfrog 2 Wreck Planet. I'll be streaming all afternoon and into the evening, so it's likely you won't be late, unlike me. Yes, indeed. So there you go. I kind of wish that, again, he would have more of these drawing streams and less of the sort of hangout, almost your neighborhood bar type situation. It's fine if you're trying to blow off steam or something like that. But yeah, even if let me just go back to it and show some of the great pictures here. Even if Cyberfrog comes out and just comes out to be one of the great comics out there, just one of the best out there, it's still going to get, even though it's the top notch, one of the best, it's still going to get probably a B plus at best for Bear because it was just so late. It's been again, Bear's not going to comment on the sort of Wu flu situation. Everybody had to deal with that, but it has been quite a minute here as far as Cyberfrog trying to get this out, and it needs to be a little bit. It shouldn't take 2.5 years, I think, something along those lines, to just get out one book. I think it was 60. I forget if it was either 40 or 60 pages there, but yeah, it shouldn't take that long. So just right off the top there, yes, indeed, Bear is a tough creature. Especially if, man, oh man, you're getting $1 million on your campaign. I know it's not going all to Uncle E. Most of that stuff is going to pies. We understand all that, but most of that stuff it should be going to the campaign there itself. So we should be getting something definitely quicker. Should have had something that had learned from the previous campaign. We're all told, we learned from the previous campaign, we're going to make it right on this campaign. I don't know if there was ignorance involved or if it was just something that just kind of slipped past there. Oh, good to see Bianca here. Good to have him here. Go check out his channel, please. The other thing, again, it's not as a critique or anything like that, but the PVC toys that he put out. It was great to see that stuff came out. It was great to see that it got funded. It was great that there's going to be a Cyberfrog toy out there, but in Bear's opinion, it probably should have waited until after Cyberfrog 2 came out, then bring out the toys, and then bring out the Cyberfrog 3 campaign. So you just kind of have this sort of boom, boom, boom of, Cyberfrog stuff coming out there. So I think that would be the best way to do about it. I think it took a little bit of time away from Uncle E there, so it was kind of sad to see some of that stuff. Good to see that it's finally coming out. I wish that there was kind of a hard deadline to some of this, that we can at least say, at least hold people's accounts to the fire there. Not that we're trying to be, anti-Uncle E or anything like that out there, but at the same time, don't take advantage of the backers. Don't feel like that the backers are just going to be sitting around waiting forever and ever and ever. So, anyways, so what was it? P Money says we actually do have another update here from. Let's see if Bear can get to it here from. I tell you what, one of the most cursed campaigns out there. We're talking about good old Mike Miller there in his LoneStar III. So Jiminy Cricket says, shout out to Bear Stream, to Twitter, Facebook, folks. I appreciate that. Bear has neither, so we would appreciate that there. Let's see. Bianca asks, should Ethan be publicly canned? No, I wouldn't say he should be publicly canned, but it would make a good live stream there. All right. Let's go on to, I tell you what, a cursed campaign here. Let me bring it up here, if I can find it here. There we go. The colorist update. This has got to be the longest running colorist update Bear has ever seen here. He says, in the never-ending parade of colorist problems, there we go, unfortunately, my latest colorist had an accident with his son. So, of course, we'd all appreciate the prayers you can muster to get his family back on their feet and healed up ASAP. So, apparently we have a poor guy there. He's got the bandage. Poor kid. I don't know what's going on with that. What the heck does Art Beer have to do with this? I'm not laughing at this situation, just the goofiness of what's going on. Mike continues, he says, God bless. Keep them. God bless them and keep them. I'm assuming keep them in your prayers, not to take them away, but hate that this is the update, but it is what it is. Well, again, Bear will just go back to one of the things that he said very, very early on. Let's see, we've got a number of people. Let's just completely go down the list here. We wish these people all the best here, but Kelsey Shannon. Kelsey would be, he's already doing one of the covers. Get him to do the book, for crying out loud. Bear's recommended in the past, just as a tweak out there. Get Kyle Ritter to do it. What the heck. Bring him off of Cyberfrog 2. Make Cyberfrog even later than it already is, so Mike can get his book colored. Let's see, we're actually going to be doing the, Is This You campaign review, or a book review here just shortly. Let's see, there was a colorist on Impossible Stars. I'm trying to remember the colorist name. Pardon me, I'm drawing a blank here, but there was a great colorist there. Gary Shipman actually has been doing some great work on his Titan campaign, doing some coloring there. Oh gosh, why did I forget? Narwhal! Bring Narwhal in, for crying out loud. Do some colors there. Point being, you got plenty of colorists out there. I don't see what the... unless everybody is blocked up or something like that, I don't see what the problem is here. I wish that Mike would at least take this. I understand he's doing all the NFT stuff, and we've talked about that in the past. We're not going to repeat stuff. I wish that he would take this Lone Star book as his own IP here. It seems like he's getting out of the comics sort of realm, doing the NFT stuff. That's fine, whatever. I wish that he would use this as the last sort of hoorah that he's doing with a comic book and just go all out with it. I don't want to be one of these people where it says, oh, he made a whole bunch of money in NFTs. He can afford it. No, I don't want to be like that. But just go all out, Mike, if you're listening. Just go all out. I mean, just go all out with it. Have a bang with it. It's your last book here. Just make it just an exclamation point on the end of the comic career that he's had here. So yeah, I think that would be the best here. I don't know anything about the colorist he has here or anything like that. When Bear first saw this, the first thing that popped into Bear's head was like, this was some sort of scam. Like, oh yeah, sure, I'll finish your book, but just please send us $1,000 more. And, dress it up and, put on the bandages and all like that. I don't think that's the case. I hope that everybody's okay and there's nothing wrong or anything like that. But I tell you what, one of the most cursed campaigns out there is the LoneStar III. I'm starting to wonder, actually, that would make a good poll. I should do a poll. I wonder which would come out first. LoneStar III or Cyberfrog 2. I think that would be interesting there. All right, let me get back to it here. Let's see. Poor Mike. Hashtag poor Mike. Yes, see. It would be a huge live stream. He would need a big crane, that's for sure. Let's see. Did Bear do that to Mike's poor colorist? No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He was coloring as fast as he could. I suppose so. Do a poll. All right, let's go ahead and do a poll. If Bear can figure out how to do it here. One of these days. Let's see. Ask a question. Let's see. Bear with Bear here for a second. Well, let's see. No, I'll say come out. Let's just do come out first. Come out first. Why is it yes, no? Why can't I do a? Let's see. Let me do it this way. Will Cyberfrog come out before? Oops. LoneStar 3. Yeah, I hate the way that they do these polls. I wish you could do it your own way there. But there we go. It should pop up here momentarily for you good people. All right, let's get on with it. Because we actually do have a good campaign update here. So let's go ahead and get right on into it. And it is from Brian Shearer. Brian Shearer, P-Money cannot bear with Bear. I tell you what, some people, especially Canadians. All right, anyways. Gunship ThunderPunch. Numero dos from Brian Shearer says the home stretch update. Yes, indeed. There we go. Rounding third base and heading for home. Beer's not very up to date on the baseball stuff. Hockey, definitely got a hockey game right on now, but let's see. He says rounding third base, heading for home. Time is slipping away from all of us, actually. I could have sworn I just did an update, but here it is in April. I'm in the home stretch of the book, and I'll attach some new pages and video to the live stream I did just yesterday while working on it. So there we go. Brian's out there doing a live stream of that. I need to get back on and check out his channel. It's been quite a while that Beer has not done that. So, oh gosh, I thought I had the... Oh gosh, he had a whole bunch of... Oh, I thought I brought that into OBS. I apologize, people. Anyways, let's see. Social media is spread out so thin these days that I post things around. I tell you what, I mean, thin. And think people kind of know what's going on, but that's not the case. My bad. Well, there you go. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate that. Also, the alternative cover, from Robert Atkins is underway. Robert has been slammed with work on G.I. Joe RPG game. Pretty cool. And teaching at SCAD. Oh, I know where SCAD is in Savannah. Beer's checked that out before. But he's finally had a window to get it done in between projects. So Brian will have some art up from that, hopefully in the next week. Speaking of which, I'm going to make sure updates come every few weeks from here on out. There you go. Thanks for your patience during a crazy year. It's been a crazy a couple of years. The world ended in 2020, and it's just never been the same since, I tell you. Page 1 was one that I was working on yesterday, and check out the video to see the progress. So there you go. There's I thought I had brought these into OBS to show people, but I guess I had forgotten, left that on another page there. And there you go. Here's more, rather, in no random order. So he's not going to spoil anything for you. With the floating head of Gunship ThunderPunch there you go. I have no idea what's going on there, but it's got his floating head there. Yes, the Florida Panthers. Grrrr. There you go. Some neat stuff. Some neat stuff there. One of Bear's actually, we actually did a head-to-head, I believe, with a Gunship ThunderPunch a little while back. So there you go. He says, okay, more in a couple weeks. And he also says, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to get in touch. Get in touch with Brian and say, hey, Brian, you're doing some great stuff there. And looking forward to, what was it called? He had an album, too. It was a, what was the name of it here? The Synthwave album. So that ought to be pretty cool. That ought to be pretty neat to check out. Yes, indeed. All right, let me get back because Beer has been neglecting the chat here. Which hockey game have you been watching? I've got Leafs and Panthers playing right now. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It was the Preds, the Predators. Close enough. The two different wild animals out there. Two different wild animals. No, it's Beer's favorite hockey team. The champs. The champs from Tampa Bay. That's right, Tampa Bay. Yes, and right now Canada Leafs are in the lead. Well, good for you, P-Money. I think the Leafs got their butts handed to them the other day. Yes, indeed. All right, what CG Pro? Oh, good to see Miguel here. Oh, great. Oh, he asks, what CG products come first? The ones printed in USA. Communist China is in chaos at this moment. Actually, you know what, Miguel? Very early on in the whole Wu Flu thing, that was one of Beer's original videos. Yeah, I think it was, if Beer remembered correctly, it was Gunship, or no, excuse me, Battle-Mated Knuckle Bomb, and I believe it was, let's see, what was it? It was Graveyard Shift 2 at the time. They were being delayed. Even then it was being delayed. What was that? Early 2020, I think February or something like that. So it seems like to Bear, a number of people have moved over to printing in the U.S., which is a great deal. You're not waiting for that shipment, even if everything was hunky-dory in China. It still takes a couple weeks to get over, even if you can get it into the port of Los Angeles, for crying out loud. So, I think that it would, it depends on where you live, obviously, and where it's coming into you, but I would say a number of CG products would be coming from the U.S. and then going out. I don't... Beer would have to double check on some of the books that he has here. We've got Downcast here right now. I know that was printed in the U.S. We've got Is This You? I know for sure that was printed in the U.S. And we just did one the other day from Art T. Bear where he went down to the print shop where he's doing Black and White 2. Yes, indeed. So, a number of places are doing that, which is great news. Great news. Let's see. P-Money has his mind blocked out of the Leafs' previous game. Well, Beer is here to remind you of the 8-1 victory. Yes, indeed. So Bear's Knuckle Bomb. dang you, Miguel. The waifu pillow was made in the USA. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. By the way, I actually got to, speaking of not getting a Battle Maiden for quite some time, Kyung actually came out just the other day and was saying it's not going to come out till 2023 at the earliest. So, holy cow, Mike, listen up. I know Kyung doesn't have any time, but Kyung Lee is doing color work, so get him to do some stuff there. All right, well, bear with Bear for just 1 second here. I gotta get Oh, we gotta do the lights before we do the camera and the action here. So just 1 second, people. Talk amongst your shells. Talk amongst your shells. Yes, indeed. Ah, yes, there we go. One of these days, Bear's actually going to take a video or a picture of all the work that he's got to do to get this going for you good people. Oh, for crying out loud, I wasn't recording the entire time. Well, that's good. There we go. There we go. You get your lights. Let's see, we've got our camera. I think we are going to do some action for you good people here. Because we were trying to do this the last time. Let me find it here. 1 second, people. 1 second. Let me go back and get out of that. And do the thing with the thing. And I didn't try this before, so please help me. Please help me and tell me this works. Oh, for crying out loud, it doesn't work. Grrrr. Dang you, OBS. Alright, let's see. Nope. No, not that. Good thing. There we go. Good thing. Good thing, because you would have actually seen Bear's scary face there for just a second, so good thing you kept that off. There we go. Alright, I would talk amongst myself, but I'm not getting along with myself already. Well, you know what? I mean, that other guy's kind of a jerk, P-Money. That's, you know. Alright, anyways, pardon me, people. Close your ears. There we go. Had to move the old microphone out of the way. There we go. Gosh darn it. I'm sorry, people. I'm making a racket. Alright, well, we actually have, finally, let me see if this is too loud. La 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 la. No, of course not. Alright, so we actually have, Is This You? In Downcast. We were trying to do it Wednesday before Bear's schedule just got completely blown out here. But very interesting books, both of them here, very interesting books. I think people would probably know a little bit more about the Downcast and the Downcast series than they would the Is This You? Is This You actually came out very quickly, not a lot of fanfare about it. It just basically kind of came out. It was out for maybe a month. I think it was out for maybe a month, maybe 2 months at the very most or something like that. And then the campaign was over. It was done with. So, Is This You kind of came out real quickly. Downcast, of course, has been out for... the series has been out for quite a while. Downcast number 3 has been out for, a couple months here. Bear's finally getting around to reviewing that. And of course, like what we like to do here is, let's not just do one. Let's not do the other. Let's put them head to head and find out which book is the better book here. So, maybe one of these days when they finally come in, we'll do a Cyberfrog versus a LoneStar III. So we'll have to see what happens then. But not today. Today we've got Downcast. And Is This You? So let's go ahead. Gosh dang it, I'm going to have to move the mic back and forth. I tell you what, hold on. Pardon me, people, 1 second. Because it gets kind of loud whenever I do that. Alright, let's see. When you first showed Downcast, and Is This You? I thought, is Bear showing a Wednesday rerun? No. We're live here. We were doing that the other day, and some of this stuff might be a little bit repeating. I meant to go. Bear was already late. He was already 5 minutes late. I meant to figure out what the name of the main character here was in Downcast. The main villain, I should say. He kind of actually is the main character. So I'm just going to call him Scuba Guy. You got Scuba Guy there, but anyways, Downcast, a very interesting book here, but let's go ahead, let's get right on into it. Let me find it here. No, it's not a rerun. It is not. Let's see, let me find it here. Because, let's just go ahead and get right on into it, because we've got, let's do Downcast. Let's do Downcast first here. Let's go ahead and do that. So Downcast, basically it's a story about it's a very interesting kind of setup. It's got a sort of floating city in the sky. Unfortunately, Bear didn't read the first 2 books, so he's kind of coming in this a little bit late. Unfortunately, there's some lore, there's some stuff that goes on. It was a little bit above Bear's head. One of the things that Bear would say if you're putting out book 2, book 3, book 5, whatever it is, especially if it's 6 months, a year between books. Just maybe have a quick, brief recap. We reviewed a little while back, what was it? Earthbound, the second book in Earthbound. Earthbound was kind of a sort of thick book as well, but one of the great things that Narwhal did was kind of a previously on, so he kind of did a wrap up. You don't need to do anything like that, but just kind of maybe a character or something like that in there saying, hey, you remember the time when whatever happened, blah, 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 blah. It just kind of refreshes some of the people that are coming back, and also kind of helps out the new viewers out there, new readers, I guess, new readers out there that might not know some of the lore and some of the stuff that went on. Anyways, so Downcast, floating city in the sky. You've got two of your main characters here, Jax and what's her name? Joanna. Hold on, let me look. I gotta get this right, people. Joanne. There we go, Joanne. There we go. So they are, I'm assuming, it never really said. I'm assuming their brother and sister, it might be some sort of a friendly relationship or something like that. I don't think they're actually in a relationship. Bear could be wrong. Again, never didn't see anything through the entire book, so couldn't tell you. Anyways, you've got these two characters here. They've got a sort of a special power where they can kind of fly through their sort of floating city. They've got some I guess what you would call them kind of relics of the past that give them a little bit of powers out there, as it were. So you've got these two characters. They had put away the bad guy in the previous episode or the previous book, and they're kind of finally taking a breather, finally taking a relax and everything. It actually jumps the story forward about 6 months or so from the previous book there. Oh, pardon me. Take a drink. I tell you what, those hot wings are finally getting into beer. Anyway, so they have a kind of a siesta for a little bit of time there, and apparently one of the main bad guys there in one of the previous books has escaped, and he's trying to get the main there he is. There's the main bad guy from the previous series there. He gets a Scuba Guy here, which I'm going to call Scuba Guy, to kind of go battle royale with Jax and Joanna there, trying to take them out so he can finally emerge from the shadows and basically do what bad guys do out there. So he's trying to pit the Scuba Guy against Jax and Joanna there. It turns out about halfway through the story that they sort of become frenemies. They're sort of working on the same side a little bit of time, and then a little bit later on in the book, Scuba Man decides to go his own way, and Jax and Joanna are accosted by, they basically call them gods, I suppose, sort of your main bad guys, as it were, in this sort of universe of Downcast there. So they're attacked by one of the gods, and Jax comes, spoiler alert, sorry people, but Jax comes back, saves Joanna, and they go on and they try to make sure that they can kind of continue on. Maybe they're going to be battling the Scuba Guy, maybe he's going to be on his side. You can never tell because it wasn't really that clear. One of the things that Bear actually really liked about the book is it's really hard to come up with a great villain. I thought that they had a great villain in the book. He just wasn't utilized properly, I don't think. I think it should have been a little bit more of a natural battle between Jax and Joanna and the Scuba Guy, rather than it's being set up from afar, kind of played marionette style, where people are pulling the strings and all this sort of stuff. It should have just been a very basic. I mean, you've got the sort of city in the sky, which was really cool, and then you've got a character that is roaming the waves, underneath the waves out there. I thought that would have been a really cool dichotomy. Maybe they were. Maybe they had thought they had killed one of the gods in one of the previous episodes, knocked him off of the city in the sky, and he falls down into the ocean below, but the god wasn't really dead, so Scuba Man finally has to take care of the god, but now he's angry, so he's gonna go after Jax and Joanna or something like that. That might have worked out a little bit better. It was a little bit confusing. I think a little bit part of that was on Bear because he hadn't read the previous two books. Probably if you read the previous two books, it would have been a little bit better, but that wasn't the main complaint that Bear had. It was a little bit long, and at the same time, it didn't use that length to its advantage. Let me see if I can give a quick example here. Yes, Matthew Weldon art. Some of the best stuff out there for sure. Let me see if I can show it to you here very briefly here. Get back to the thing. With the thing. There we go. Nope, not display capture. Video capture. Yes, there we go. There we go. Yes, indeed. So let me see if we can find. Might take a moment here, people, but I'll give you a really great example of what Bear's talking about here. Let's see. Bear often gets confused with things over his head. When he sees a plane, he goes, "What's that large bird? What is that large bird?" Right out loud. Always making noise. Always making noise. All right, let me bear with Bear here. See if I can find it here. See if we can find it here. Talk amongst your shelves. Here we go. Is this it? This might be it. This might be it. Gosh darn it. Oh, these claws. The claws just aren't what they used to be. Here we go. Yes. Okay. All right. There we go. I should have scanned this in, but that's all right. Okay. So you've got your main bad guy there. Can we see it? There he is. Crash. He's about to fight all the Jax and Joanna. It looks pretty cool. This is a pretty cool scene here. Really cool scene. They're about to take on Scuba Man here, and then flip over the next page there. Excuse me, Joanna. Oh my goodness, she's holding on for dear life. Jax is like, oh my gosh. They're going after this sort of MacGuffin that he's got in his bag there. You see, he leaves the bag there. Leaves it, he just leaves it there, and then goes running back to. He works in some sort of like I guess you can call it sort of an automotive shop, a flying automotive shop there. So they have this long drawn out conversation here, blah blah. Meanwhile, she's holding on for dear life, like, no worries, let's just talk. And then the next page, if I can get to it here. If Bear can get to it here. There we go. So we had all that talk. And then finally she gets her MacGuffin before she falls to her death there. So, anyways, could have very easily had the original MacGuffin in the bag, and he throws the bag to Joanna there. And now you've got Scuba Man that he's after the MacGuffin. Now he's got Joanna there just holding on for dear life. So, he can go after her now. So, like Jax just like leaves. Like, hold on, talk amongst yourselves, just hang, I'm sure she's just hanging on, like, hey, how's your day going? Oh, fine, how you doing? Oh, hanging in there, some of those things where it could have been edited down quite a bit, I think would have been a little bit better. I think it just needed another. Clint is a good writer. Don't get Bear wrong or anything like that. But it just needed another a pass to it, maybe another draft or something like that. Narrow it down. Make sure the people that are coming back and maybe your new readers understand the myth, the lore, the story, and all that sort of stuff. It was a really good book. It was just really long. It was a little bit drawn out, and some of the lore in there was just a little bit unclear. I thought that the main character here, the main bad guy here, he wasn't necessarily the main bad guy the entire time. It kind of flopped back and forth. He should have just remain the main bad guy character, keep out or just keep to a minimum all this sort of gods and all the extraneous stuff that they had. They had a looked like a giant vulture out there that was attacking people. Keep that to the next book or something like that, or just maybe hint at it in this book and do it in the next book. That would probably work or something like that. So, other than that, Downcast, a really good book. Nothing to say bad about Downcast, but it's going up against Is This You? So let's go ahead, check that out here. Let me find it here. There we go. Is This You? From what's called a Narzak joint. So we actually have a Narwhal and your boy Zach, Richard C. Meyer out there. Like you said, doing a very quick book. This is a quick turnaround that they had. They had a very kind of I shouldn't say they. Your boy Zach had a very kind of negative outcome with his book, The Expendables. Pardon me here. There we go. So we had the Expendables out there. It was really late, not as late as Lone Star or Cyberfrog, but it was late out there. So I'm sure he had some motivation to get another book out and get it out quickly. And they did. They did a really good job of turning the book out and turning it out quickly, and a quality book. There wasn't, people have an issue with Narwhal's art. Some people say it's very simplistic, very, I don't want to say childlike or anything like that, but he can definitely draw better than Bear, that's for sure. But some people have issues with Narwhal's art. Bear's kind of went in the past and says, hey, it's very fluid artwork, very sort of European-styled artwork, kind of flowing rather than just a sort of static picture, that sort of deal. Narwhal's gotten a lot better. He's gotten a lot better over time, but again, some people may have that issue. We can understand where that comes from. All right, let's get to the main story here. Is This You? Basically, it is a story. It just starts media res there without really much background or anything like that. You have your main character here, Alistair. He is a immortal. It didn't really say where or how the sort of immortal lore kind of came about or anything like that. It's just sort of assumed that everybody knows about immortals out there. And he is basically a sort of think of the Kardashians as immortal. Oh God, that would be a horrible thought. But think of the Kardashians as immortal. So he's been around for millennia, all this sort of time and everything. He is on a sort of an Oprah-like talk show there, given, some. It doesn't really say what his sort of celebrity status is. It doesn't really say what he does other than he's a sort of immortal, maybe some sort of minor celebrity status of some kind. So he goes on to the talk show, and he is confronted by somebody in the audience that has a picture of a Central European superpower from the 20th century there. The bad Germans over there, and he's got caught in one of your uniforms. Oh my goodness! And they say, "Is this you?" Oh my goodness! And he has run out. And basically, the story is what would happen if an immortal was having to go through cancel culture. Basically, you've canceled this person, but they're immortal. They're going to be around a lot longer than you are. So how does that fit in? There's the picture right there. So a very interesting premise. It's a very interesting premise that it comes up with. Unfortunately, whether or not this has to do with just the story itself or whether or not they just, I want to say ran out of time, but kind of rushed through it, there really isn't very much of a third act. So the first act you have Alistair there, and I'm trying to remember his friend there on the horse, but brings back all his clan of immortals, and they decide to pillage through Twitter and Facebook and that sort of stuff, take out all their servers and whatnot. That doesn't work. So they decide basically to, and spoiler alert people, but go back onto the Oprah talk show and basically essentially liquidate everybody there. So I would assume it's some sort of revenge fantasy sort of book there. Very cool, but it abruptly ends. If you can call it a third act, it probably goes through just maybe a quarter of a third act and then it just ends abruptly. So that would be Bear's kind of complaint on Is This You? I wish kind of the opposite problem with Downcast. I wish there was a little bit more there. I wish they had a little bit more, maybe 4, 5, 6 pages. They were talking about going out into the woods, into the woodlands, and just basically living out until humanity dies out. And that was that. I wish there was a little bit more explanation on what was going to happen after the fact. But other than that, a really good book, very personal. I felt this was the most personal. It was the a very personal book for your boy Zach out there, especially all the stuff that he had to go through. Kind of reminded of the was it the Daily Show that he went on that got kind of sandbagged. So it kind of reminded Bear a little bit about that and cancel culture in general. So yeah, it felt very personal, I guess, for your boy Zach out there. So it made a very interesting book. Unfortunately, it was a little short. I wish there was a little bit more to it, but other than that, really good. The only other thing that Bear would have to say, I'm trying to find it here. I might need to go through a couple more slides there, but there was one at the very one of these slides here that shows one of the characters kind of in his room, kind of checking out large TVs and all. You know, he's checking out what was going on, sort of a hermit style, kind of in his basement or something like that. There it is. There's the picture right there. So the entire book is in black and white, although we were talking earlier about colorists. Narwhal is a great colorist, so let me go back here. 1 second here, people. Go back to it here. So you saw the picture with the guy in the room there. Well, they actually have it at the very back of the book here, and it is in color. So the only color that you actually have in this book is the very front cover and the very back. So let's get to it here, if you can. Oh, for crying out loud, people. There we go. So the only thing colored rather, is this back page here, which we just saw. I actually think it comes out. Let me hold it a little bit better. I think it comes out a little bit better in color. I really like the color that Narwhal does. And let me put that back. So I wish that they would have spent, number one, a little bit more time on the ending. Just kind of come up with a better ending. One of the cool things, though, I gotta say, one of the cool things is they get to show some of the production notes at the very end of the book. So they spent some time just printing out what Narwhal and Richard were kind of going back and forth through emails, kind of how it kind of started out. Narwhal would have an idea, Zach would come back and, hey, let's tone this down, or let's do a different idea, or something like that. Narwhal would kind of come back and do something else. Very cool. I wish not only did they have that in there, but add just a couple extra pages to it, add a little bit more towards the end there. I think it would have helped out a little bit. And also do the color of the book. I think kind of the big difference between the two here is Downcast is colored and Is This You isn't. So it kind of depends on whether or not, number one, do you like Narwhal's art style? And number two, do you want your book colored? Do you want to have color in your book there? So that would probably be the big thing. For Bear, both of them really good, but I tell you what, there was one that only comes out on top. And I gotta say, I really liked it only because it felt the most personal. It felt the most I hate to say emotional, but it felt like it had more of a sort of feeling behind it rather than, hey, I'm going to write this book and here comes up these characters and yada, yada, yada. Nothing against Clint, nothing against Sweetcast over there, but Bear's pick here is, there we go. Is this you? Many people say, is Bear flicking off? No, that's his thumb. There's the fingers there. Is this you? Bear's pick there. I gotta say, one of the more interesting books out there. Again, wish it was in color, but really, I mean, you're kind of nitpicking at stuff at that point. Really good. I really liked it. Unfortunately, it sounds like your boy Zach is kind of stepping back from the YouTube stuff. I'm not sure if he's stepping back from the comic stuff, but stepping back from the YouTube stuff. But yeah, definitely, your boy Zach. I doubt you're listening or anything like that. But good job. Give the old Bear either middle finger or thumbs up. There you go. Very cool. All right, let's see. Did Bear move the comic to eat it? No, it tastes terrible. Bear's got garbage out there, for crying out loud. He just got done eating some chicken wings. They're really hot, by the way. Bear taking a drink. Does Bear know what wine goes with salmon? I don't know. What I'm assuming. Well, let's see. It would be salmon. So, you're supposed to have white fish or white wine with fish. But I don't know. I would say red. I would say a red, Bear's not very knowledgeable about the wines out there. What is it? A Cabernet? Maybe a Cabernet out there, or maybe I don't know, just a good red wine out there with some salmon. Bear just enjoys it with some fermented berries. It does the job out there. There we go. Taking a drink not of wine, not of berry juice, but just of some water. It's neat. All right, let me get out of that. Get back to the thing. And the thing, because we do actually have one more thing here real quick before we cast off, as it were. Yes, indeed. Let me find it here. Let me find it because we were actually talking a little bit about it, and I tell you what. You know what? Some days you're living in Florida and you're like, I tell you what it is. It is way too hot. What am I doing here? Especially in a fur coat. But you know what? Some days it is actually a good day. It is a good day because we've got things like there we go. Our good friends. Oh, our good friends at Deadline. It's always nice to watch Deadline just kind of completely melt down sometimes. Deadline, in case some of you don't know, it's kind of the industry, paper industry magazine, as it were. So, industry people in the Hollywood movie industry, basically what's going on in between either studios or in between talent agencies, that sort of deal. Not necessarily the sort of tabloid rag sort of stuff. They do talk about some of that stuff, but more kind of just inside the Beltway stuff. So, all right, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signs bill. We were talking about it the other day. I can't believe they did it. They did it, people. Oh my goodness. Nuclear explosion at Disney's special district for Walt Disney World is finished. It's gone. It's complete. Well, we got another year, but after this year, it's gone, baby. It's gone. By the way, this is, our good friend Ted Johnson out there. Yes, indeed. Who we can neither confirm nor deny that is very, very, very homosexual. We cannot confirm nor deny that. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed legislation Friday that strips, the only time you want to hear strips and Disney together, strips Disney of a special district that covers Walt Disney World after the company came out publicly against the state's parental rights bill, rather. You people have no idea. I would say Jiminy would probably know a little bit about the Disney World stuff, but a lot of people that don't, even people that live in Florida, probably don't know that Disney World basically ran its own a government, essentially. Think of it like a Indian reservation or something like that. So basically Disney was kind of left to their own devices until they stepped in it royally. Continues on. It's unclear what the ultimate financial impact would be on Disney. Oh no, Ted, it is very clear. I believe they've lost about 30% of their stock since last year. So I think we pretty much know what the impact is. But Democrats have warned that dissolving the Reedy Creek Improvement District could leave Florida's Orange and Osceola counties to pay the district's existing debts. Once again, Deadline, you are dead wrong. That's not the case at all. Quit spreading fake news. That's not the case. They're not going to assume their debts. That's all Disney. It's Disney's debts. I tell you. Style Guide says, DeSantis, standing at a lectern with the message, freedom from indoctrination. Accused Disney of pushing an LGBTQ blah, 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 agenda. No, they really are. We have the videotape evidence. We have the people talking about it. They're putting gay characters into kids shows for no reason other than that's what they want to. There's no accusing. That is their agenda. They've come out and said it. DeSantis claimed the company had an quote intentional agenda to, quote, inject sexuality into the programming that is provided to our youngest kids. And Disney employees have come out and said that, and they have promoted that. It's not claiming, it's not accusing, it's for real, Ted. It's for real. And we go on. Let's see. Let me find it here. Let's see. He was clear that was the reason that he was repealing the special district. Quote, I'm just not comfortable having that type of agenda get special treatment in my state. I just can't do it. Well, that and why are they getting special treatment? Universal Orlando doesn't get that. SeaWorld doesn't get that. Busch Gardens doesn't get it. Wet n Wild doesn't get it. Gosh, there's a whole bunch of other places. They don't get that. None of the theme parks down there that you think of in Orlando other than Disney, they don't get that. They don't get that. So it's just essentially leveling the playing field. Opponents have dubbed the law... Say it with me, people. Don't say gay, Bill. By the way, Beer was out just today and saw a billboard out that was, what did it say? It says, Ron Death Santis welcomes you to Florida, the don't say gay state. And I'm like, this is so stupid. Who are you trying to impress? Most of the people around here, if they're not state employees, most of the people are for Death Santa. So I don't know who they were trying to target or anything like that, but very silly. It went through the state legislature. Yes, it did. Disney remained publicly silent. No, they didn't. They were out and about. He came out, Bob Chapek did, originally basically saying we're not going to comment on this, which was the perfect thing to say. They should have done that. Hey, we're not going to comment on this. Thanks, everybody. But in March, CEO Bob Chapek reversed course and announced the company's opposition at its annual meeting, you complete moron, while putting a pause on political donations. In the state. Well, you're not going to get your money's worth now. You should have done it when it counted. Disney did not comment. Well, good job, Disney. You took the L. You took the L, and instead of saying, you know what, we might have went against the folks here in Florida. We might have misjudged the situation here. You know what? We're going to take another look at this. We're going to go back and make sure that we're not promoting very graphic sexuality to very young kids. Let's take a look at that and make sure we're not doing that. Instead, they don't comment. The Human Rights Campaign interim president, Joni Madison. Oh boy, let's hear what she has to say. I'm assuming she, I don't know. Issued a statement in which she's, by the way, let's go through the list here, Joni. Are you saying anything about the French Disney World where they have restrictions on abortions? Let's see. Are you going to say anything about the China, Shanghai Disney? Are you going to say anything about that where they, oh man, you talk about don't saying gay in China. Hey, you know what? Why don't you say something about, I don't know, all the human rights of the Uyghurs out there in China where they're locked up in the camps? How about you say something about that, Joni Madison, instead of saying stupid stuff like, quote, Governor Death Santis is wielding the power of the state to punish businesses simply for not falling in line with his brutal and discriminatory attacks. It's simply another example of Governor Death Santis attempting to tell people what to say, how to teach, and what they can learn, and what they can believe, and who they are, and what shows that Governor Santis and predatory is attacking LGBT people over the well-being of his state. No, I would say the well-being of his state is completely and 100%, well, 85% behind Governor Death Santis over there. Let's flip it the other way. Why are LGBTQ plus people attacking children? Why are they trying to go into the classrooms and indoctrinate children? How about that Joni Madison from the Human Rights Campaign? Interim president, Joni Madison. Yes, indeed. So there you go. That's kind of the flavor there as far as from Deadline. Our good friends over there at Deadline completely losing their hats over Governor Death Santis signing a bill repealing Disney's special district. Yes, indeed. And there we go. So Disney World was Vatican City. Not necessarily. I think Vatican City, if you want to compare it to that, I believe the Vatican is its own government there. You still have to, you couldn't, let's just say, you couldn't have you couldn't get rid of the handicap parking at Disney World. You'd have to have handicap parking there. For example, you couldn't you couldn't say, oh, we can't have any black people at Disney World. You still got to follow certain laws, but they had kind of a general. Think of it as like building codes or maintenance on the roads or water management, that sort of deal. They didn't. Essentially, what happened was the state of Florida, way back when, wanted to bring in Disney, but we had kind of the sort of good old boy network where they're, handing pallets of cash off to different government officials, local officials down there. There's still some of that, but it's nowhere near what it was back in the 40s or 50s, or excuse me, the 60s rather. So a lot of that stuff that they were trying to bring Disney down, well, they're already here. So it was kind of an enticement, and then they never really reviewed it after the fact. So they had a lot of stuff that they can get away with that, like, let's just say, for example, SeaWorld or Universal or one of these other places, they were a little bit more. And again, we're not pro regulation or anything like that here, but they were a little bit more regulated by the counties. Now they're going to have to go to both Osceola and Orange County. Good luck paying off Orange County there to get their stuff done. So if you ever wondered, if you ever been to Orlando and kind of wondered why all the roads were not the best, kind of potholes and stuff like that, well, Disney isn't paying the taxes on to the county there. A lot of it is sales tax if you're outside the park, or I think actually inside the park they still collect sales tax. But yeah, they don't really pay a whole lot of taxes as far as on their property and stuff. Well, that's going to change. Oh boy, that's gonna change. Take it, mouse. Take it. All right. Anyways, so yeah, I just kind of think of it as Indian reservation, sort of that sort of. I don't know if they have the same sort of situation there in Canada or not, but kind of similar into the U.S. Disney treats bears badly. That's true. That is true. I mean, they don't even give Winnie the Pooh pants. That's true. Man, oh man, don't tell China either. Holy cow. Of course, excuse me. Let's see. Of course, Disney could no longer be silent. They had to appease the 12 Twitter complainers. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Disney's been trying to groom kids since the 1990s. Yeah, talk about. Yeah, I always wondered why folks like not to pick on her or anything like that, but what's her name? Selena Gomez. I think she was one of the Disney kids a while back. You kind of wonder why she doesn't do that many Disney movies. I'll just leave that one blank there, but I think that's kind of interesting there. But yeah, anyways, that's the Disney stuff. Beer actually had just some real quick stuff. I thought it was kind of neat. I didn't know if it was going to go with anything or not here, but we were talking about Uncle E putting out Cyberfrog and stuff like that. One of the good things that Bears noticed is he uses first-class mail, which it'll get to you here real quickly. Well, unfortunately, the post office or postal service rather, starting in May, is going to slow delivery of first-class packages. So even if you're sending first class, it's still not first class. I tell you what. So thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Post Office. The other one, I'm not going to read the whole story. I think the headline is just great. I meant to do this the other day, right after Easter here. Both of these, by the way, are just the news. The first mosaic inscribed to Jesus unearthed in an early church below an Israeli prison. Yes, indeed. So I thought that was kind of an interesting headline there. Pretty cool. I tell you what, you just go over to Israel and you find a spot on the earth and you stick a shovel in there. You'll probably come up with some sort of historical artifact or something along those lines. So, all right, Selena Gomez, I forgot Britney Spears was a Disney girl there. Lindsay Lohan. Oh, that's right. She was in all those movies. That's right. Bear was thinking of the Disney Channel. So who was that? Amanda Bynes, I think, was another one. I'm sorry, I don't have all the Disney tweeners out there on the top of Bear's head here, but yeah, there we go. What first class becomes medium mail under Joe Biden? Yes, he did that. He in fact did that. Yeah. Yeah, Jiminy, if you're sending out packages or anything like that, just let people know, even if you're sending first class, that it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Although the packaging, the wrapping of the tape is his fault. But other than that, yeah, they're slowing down some. I think it was cross country. If let me go back here because I want to make sure. I want to get right for you. 1 second here. I don't see it right away. I thought it said something about not all of the first class packages. Let's see. Oh, yeah, here we go. As a result, such packages on longer routes, there we go. On longer routes will take 1 or 2 days more to arrive. So, there you go. So I suppose longer routes is something that's cross country or something like that. So there you go. I found that interesting. Wanted to kind of bring that to everybody's attention here. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. Well, you know what, people? You know what? We've actually had quite a full show here between the. Oh, I forgot to check what the tally was here. Let's see. No. Let's see. What was the question? Will Cyberfrog come out before LoneStar 3? A resounding 80% said no. So people still think LoneStar is going to come out beforehand. Okay. All right. We will take that. We will take that as the poll. As the poll, indeed. There we go. Only 5 votes. Come on, people. Come on. I know there's only 5 people in here, but there should be at least 20 or 30 votes. That's how Bear votes. I mean, multiple times. Gotta get rid of that pesky Second Amendment. Yes, indeed. All right. Anyways, we had the campaign updates. We had a really nice head-to-head with Downcast and Is This You coming out the winner? Yes, indeed. Just by a hair, by like a nose hair, as it were. And a couple of interesting stories there, including Disney just getting it right in the nards there from old Death Santis there. So there you go. Really interesting stuff there. So there you go. Jimmy Cricket, you make it sound like a lot of Disney kids turned out messed up. Yeah, you could probably say that. You could probably say that they were scarred for life. Scarred for life. Yes, indeed. All right. Well, you know what, people? All this talk. Oh, hold on. It's easier to count the ones that haven't. Yeah, there you go. Oh, Miguel says, let's see. If they can pay tax to the county will take some land or buildings from the Big D. No, I don't think that they can do that, but they can essentially make Disney's life hell. Just think of any sort of renovation on your house or something like that. You got to bring the building inspector out. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to wait on the guy to come out and check off all the boxes and all. Well, Disney didn't have to do that for 40 or 50 years. So now they're going to have to go do that. So at the very least, it's a whole bunch of legal expense that they're going to have to go through. It sounds like they're going to be fighting this in the court, and good luck with that, because I don't think it's going to amount to anything. They might delay. They might just. People seem to think that as soon as it was signed into law that the special status was revoked. I believe it is in, I want to say June of next year. I think it's next year sometime. So it's still going to be a little bit of time before that takes effect. And there might be some legal challenges there. Might go through the courts. They might delay some of that stuff. So we'll see. The one lady's going to have to excuse herself because she's not even a biologist, much less a Imagineer. So she couldn't do anything on the Disney case there, unfortunately. But I don't think it would make it all the way to the Supreme Court. Just the Florida Supreme Court, and they'll say, nah, bye. That'll be it. All right. Speaking of that being it, I believe that will be it. Bear's getting just a little bit hungry. you know what? So he's going to be heading back. But he wants to thank everybody. Jiminy, Miguel, P-Money, of course, Bianca. If you haven't checked out his channel, go check that out. Really cool stuff. But you know what? Beer's going to head back into the woods. So until next time, people, grrrr.